Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of A Recipe for Adventure. My name is Freebie Wits, and with me today is my good friend Sai. Sai, say good day.
Hello.
I feel we've gone through this before.
Yep.
We've been through. One day, you're going to say exactly what I ask you to say, and it
Well,
will be.
normally you ask me to say hello, so I said hello today.
I, mm, I, mm, I, mm. This is true. Anyways, as you can see, we have a battle map. I'm on the Roll20 page right now. We have a little battle map of the town. It's a little generic one. Um, yes, we've done the Minecraft equivalent of a Let's Player who shows a dirt house, says, see you next time. And then when they open it up, they have a bunch of diamond armor and they say, yeah, while we weren't recording, I did all this. It, well, to be more accurate, Sai did all this because he's got like a little art program that does all this. What's it called again, Si? I've got it saved. Like
It's called Dungeon Draft.
Dungeon Draft. So I do not own it. I think it's like what, $20?
Something like that.
Oh, it's pretty. It's reasonably priced. It's comes with a bunch of free DLC that you can get. This is not a plug, by the way, per se. We are not being paid by them, but hey, if anyone from Dungeon Draft is watching, you can give me a copy for free. I wouldn't mind. But yes, I think I like judging by the quality of all your stuff. I would not mind buying them. Like I always just assumed you used Photoshop or something like that. To be honest, in our campaigns together.
Like I started just like when I first started DMing, I would just find maps online. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually I started thinking I'd like to, take it into my own hands and make my own maps. They're not perfect, they're not like the best maps you've ever seen, but they're my maps and they're built to my specifications.
I
And
mean,
that's just useful.
the fact that you can customize it specifically for your needs instead of tailoring the campaign and like the encounters around other people's stuff, it just makes
Yeah.
a world of difference. It's it's very useful. Um, Yeah, no, I do much the same thing, but like I take the individual assets and I kind of Frankenstein into a map, which is not much better, I guess, but it does let me customize things at like it takes a lot more time. And I've seen Sai make these maps. It's actually really um and it looks really convenient how he does it and such like that. It's like he literally has paintbrushes for certain elements and such.
Yeah, I can like paint water and like grass and dirt, snow, various things. It's really convenient, really useful. I like using it. Um, there are plenty of creators who've made like custom objects that you can like purchase or download for free to add the number of things you put on the map.
Really,
Um,
it's really
yeah,
useful.
it's really good.
Before we continue on our recipe for adventure, I'd like to ask you a question about D&D once again. That question is there something from a previous edition that you wish was in the 5th edition or at least something that you miss?
Um, I mean, if I could be frank, there's something that I think fourth edition did really well
Hmm?
that I enjoyed. That I felt like fifth edition kind of ended up being a bit too slack on.
Oh,
Um, yeah, in fourth edition, the uh, the classes that ended up in like the healer archetype would all get like a once per encounter or like once per battle heal that would heal for like 25% of a character's health.
it was almost like it just a second wind out of nowhere. Well, not nowhere, but like it's just a panic button essentially.
Well, yeah, but you could use it on other people. And I feel like when it comes to healing in fifth edition, you're either using like a spell slot to heal for like maybe like a tenth of someone's hit points, or you're abusing a particular spell to try to heal like everything in like a minute. There's no. It's like you're either abusing mechanics to try to fully heal your party, or your heals are basically emergency. Oh no, they've gone down. Get them back up healing.
That is something mechanically in fifth edition that, although I do wish they were more powerful for sure. I do kind of like understand like the design decision behind it. I think I can't remember who said it specifically, but one of the designers basically said they made healing a lot weaker in fifth edition, so that combat would go faster because it would be boring to have everyone like constantly healing and just not going down.
I mean, yes, but I feel like that in turn, combat healing is
It's not as useful.
basically it's basically useless. Like if the only real time that I feel it's good to use healing is if someone is on the ground bleeding out at 0 hit points.
And you just want to make sure they don't die rather than
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's like if you want to try to play like a dedicated healer, your healing is going to be
It's going to be
like
outclassed by full damage, proper damage.
yeah, it's like you try to heal someone for like 8 hit points for them to then just get hit in the head by an ogre for like 16. And it's like you used your action to effectively do half
Not
of what.
really, not
Yeah,
really till later levels that you get like things that do majority health or something like that, like
like
literally the heal spell.
yeah, the spell heal is a good healing spell.
What is it? Fifth level, sixth level, I think.
I think it's like sixth or seventh. It's not,
You have it's pretty mid to
yeah,
high level. Like you got to be like level 11 or something like that minimum to get it. So
yeah.
it is not. It is an investment for sure, for sure.
And then in turn, you have to ask yourself the question: is it worth using your spell slot on heal? Because a
Mm.
6th level spell slot can do so many other things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah, and so
like literally
basically,
disintegrate.
yeah, it's like so. What I liked about fourth edition was that their like little once per encounter healing was its own resource.
And
So it,
that's
it, it was no longer a choice of do I use my heal and that it's like no, you have the ability to heal a bit.
you don't have to choose between hitting
Yeah,
someone and healing.
yeah. That's why like
Oh,
if I could say
I can't
yeah,
heal you anymore because I used all the bandages to strangle these guys.
yeah. Like there like a good healing I like in fifth edition is like the paladins like lay on hands because that's one where as you level up it gets stronger.
Yeah, it's just a pool, and
Yeah,
as you said, it's a separate resource. So like,
yeah.
uh,
So you don't feel so bad about using it to heal because it's like you you're not going to use it on anything else. Well, except like curing poison and disease, but
but that's still another form of healing, I would
healing.
argue.
Yeah, and so having that's good. I like the paladin's lay on hands. I think it's really good. You can use 1 hit point to get your friend up in a dangerous situation, or you can be like, I'm level 6, 30 hit points into someone immediately. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's really useful. I like that, but it's a shame that it's basically like paladin and like celestial warlock, and those are like the only ones I can think of off the top of my head that have their own like just free, separate from spell slots version of healing. That's a lot more guilt free to use.
For me, I think the thing I miss most about three, like from older editions, specifically 3.5, and once again, I understand why they cut it out, is prestige classes. And I know what people are going to say. Those are just subclasses. And to that, I would say not quite, because in Player's Handbook, like as far as I'm aware, subclasses are exclusive to each class. In that, let's just say I'm being a fighter, right? And let me just double check what the fighter subclasses are. You've got Battle Master, and you've got, say, Eldritch Knight. As far as I'm aware, you cannot multi-class into Battle Master and Eldritch Knight. Is that correct to say, Si?
Yeah,
Yeah. Whereas in 3.5, you could get two separate prestige classes that are the continuation of a fighter class and take them both. So if there was like, I don't know if they're actual prestige class names, but if there was an Eldritch Knight sub like prestige class that requires fighter levels and a Battle Master prestige class that required fighter levels, you could, in theory, take them both and be a-okay.
yeah.
And once again, I sort of understand why they did it. It's less janky, but I do miss the fact that you can take multiple
Hmm.
similar class prestige classes.
Well, even fourth edition had something similar, but rather than like you are no longer a fighter, it was like the Paragon class, which is like a new class you take on top of your current one at like level 11. But it's like you could pick one that's like fighter exclusive, but you could pick one that's like shared by multiple other classes as well, and got a bit of versatility from that.
I think that's the thing with fifth edition. It's not as customizable as before, but I understand why they did it in that 3.5 had so many different options that a lot of the options were just literally dead weight. There was, if I remember correctly, there was
Yep.
a feat that just gave you 3 hit points and it didn't scale at all. Whereas there was another feat within the same book, I'm pretty sure, that gave you an extra hit point per level. So, like, by level 4, that specific feat already outscaled the other feat that just gave you 3 hit points. So I understand why they did it. It's just to get rid of it. Helps make all the classes and like all your choices a bit more viable. And if you do screw up in fifth edition, it's either because of roleplay reasons or because you're trying to screw up.
I mean, like I think fifth edition is still pretty customizable, but yeah, it's just that the customization is different.
Oh, don't get me wrong, like the level of customization you have in fifth edition is fantastic. I just feel that
Hmm.
it's not to the point where making choices can be detrimental as 3.5. Um,
Yeah,
anyways, recipe for adventure. Last we left off, the party is going on their little scavenger hunt quest. Um, so we're making the scavenger hunt quest, assuming that the players did enter the scavenger hunt. Um, and I kind of left a little blank section here to quickly highlight it, so I know to like add an extra step later.
yep.
So can I highlight, or is it just gonna be blank because I haven't typed in step something? Okay. So if there's like 8 steps, we'll go skip to step 8 or something like that. All right, there we go. So, and eventually we want players to run onto the roof of the building and find someone already holding the trident. They also see a costumed sea serpent leaning out behind said person, in case they'll evolve into combat. But before then, I do want to have the scavenger hunt start here. And I suppose, like, I was thinking about this before, like from a thematic point of view, do we want to take the players all over town just so that there's like
I
a
mean, for the scavenger hunt, I think it is the easiest way to just hit our major locations in the town. And basically a good way to introduce everyone to all the major locations if they take part in the scavenger hunt.
yeah, it's like that one tutorial that people just do not skip because it's so useful to do.
Yeah. And so basically it's like, okay, what are the major locations? The Alchemist Tower, the Sultan Lick Inn, Baron von Cleef Mansion,
Yep.
the Bloodstone Bazaar, the
Yeah.
Lucky Pearl Tavern, and I don't think we should go out of town to the Silvertoes Farm.
No, no, no. That
So that's basically 5 locations potentially, and then an end.
yep,
I probably wouldn't send them to Baron von Cleef's mansion.
not specifically. And I
So then we just have 4 locations to go to. Nice and easy.
I think that the actual scavenger hunt starts at the Bloodstone Bazaar, though, wouldn't it?
It would start at the Bloodstone Bazaar, so we just have 3 locations, and then the finale.
Yeah, okay, okay, that's a good number. All right, so the party meet at the store with the serpent skull next to it. The
Hmm.
actual, hang on, I want to make this clear. Uh, the actual serpent skull next to it, as the host tells everyone's the rules. They're hurting anyone else. Whomever touches, try to first claim it and have fun. First clue is, and where do we want to send them to first?
Um, I feel like the Sultan Lake Inn is probably a good first place.
Yeah, Salt and Lick in because it's the edge of the port district, so they kind of work their way in.
Yeah.
All right. And what kind of clue? Like, where do we want to actually put this clue? Do we want it to be like the actual dwarf itself gives the rule, or is there going to be a little like plaque or poster that they read?
I imagine there's like well, there's probably a person in a costume or something waiting for them there.
Okay, okay. Um, Salt and Lick. The first clue is what kind of costume would it be? Obviously, it'd have to be something. Could it be just someone in a goofy serpent costume?
Yeah,
Okay.
or a goofy fish costume. Either way.
All right. And what would the clue be?
Um,
Assault is my home. Yet no drink be had unless you're adult. How's that
mm,
sound?
I mean that's not bad. It kind of gets across the point. It's like salt, uh, and it's like adult drinking. So yeah, like
Something nice and easy. So,
hmm
okay, this can be a bunch of skill checks. Like if the players just know, they know. We'll just let them go there.
yep.
But otherwise, like, what kind of
An intelligence or a history check.
intelligence? Well, history is based off intelligence. I think we need history.
Well, the idea is it's a history check. With a like the DC is the same.
Uh-huh.
If they have history, it is easier for them.
I'll say history anyways because they get to roll it anyways, like intelligence anyways.
I guess yeah. Technically, if they don't have proficiency in history, it is just an intelligence check.
What would the DC for that be? It would be reasonably easy. Maybe
I think this one should be a 12 or a 13.
let's say I'm gonna make it a bit harder for next. You'll see 13. There is an inn called the Alt and click in near the edge of the port. Hang on, the edge of the port district. Yep, port
Yep.
district. And then we can also do an investigation. So where
Hmm.
they ask people, and this will be a bit easier because the locals there will know what's going on. And
It does, however, take time.
yeah, we'll make it easy.
Yeah.
C5. Um, actually, you know what? 8 can be repeated each try, reducing DC by 1. They repeated each hour, each try, reducing the DC by 1. And it'll just tell them one of the locals point the party towards an inn called Salt and Lick Inn. So there's no way for them to technically fail. It just takes them more and more time every time if they do it, if they keep failing. That make any sense?
Yep.
Alrighty. So they get there.
Next destination should make perfect sense. If we are going to send them towards the residential district,
Oh wait,
and we don't want to send them towards Baron Von Cleef's.
before that, we are going to mention the fish costume man.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
so they get to the Sultan Lick Inn. Um, once players get Salt and Inn, before they can enter, they see a costume fish man arguing with a Triton. Says it's racist. I kind of like that idea. Like,
I mean, it'd be one step funnier if it was an actual Triton dressed up like a fish, and
oh,
he's just completely nonplussed by it.
oh, that's even better. Okay, see a Triton who is dressed in a large, cumbersome fish costume. They do not seem all that excited by their job. Oh, actually, I do want to say, get this thing. They start the scavenger hunt. They are given necklaces to show that they are part of the scavenger hunt.
Yep. Should probably be like a shell necklace with like a
I was
symbol on it or something.
I was literally just thinking that. Given a shell necklace with a anchor symbol on it, show that they are part of scavenger hunt. And then that way, like players can also see other participants with it as well. Upon seeing the players and their shell necklace, the man gives the next clue. So what would the next location? You said residential district?
Well, if they're in the residential district, the next place that just makes 100% sense is the Alchemy Tower, right?
Oh, of course, of
Or
course.
as we joked about it, the Rainbow Tower.
The Rainbow Tower. Okay.
So maybe the clue should be travel to the end of the rainbow. Should you ever need like healing?
Oh, it may not even be something like that. What if it's just a
Yeah.
picture of a rainbow and it says "Go here"?
Journey to the bottom of the rainbow.
Yeah, so it's like
Yep.
the clue is a picture of a rainbow with text on it that says "Go here." That would, hang on, that would be step number 3 then. So
Yep.
hang on, how do I do? Uh, uh, there we go. So that would be just an intelligence check. It's like, hang on,
Yeah. I'd make it pretty low DC because the party should kind of know.
against DC. Let's just say 10 at advantage.
Yep.
Advantage. It's
With advantage.
oh, thank you for that. Alchemy Tower. Mm-mm.
Yep.
And of course, if they give up, they can always just go to the alchemy tower, anyways.
Hmm.
Like, well, let's go home to the alchemy tower. Oh, we accidentally figured it out. Actually, yeah, there'll be because this will be a module that would things like on failure, the DM is encouraged to tell the players go back to the alchemy. Say something along the lines of you're feeling somewhat tired and feel wait and could always go rest at the alchemist tower. I always love the succeed by accident trope when it comes to these sorts of things.
This is definitely one of those cases where it's like, well, we thought this would be easy, but we might as well have a fairly condition just in case.
Yeah. All right, so
Well, step 4.
yep. So step 4. Once the players get to Alchemist Tower, they find Al dressed as a giant shrimp on a ladder, overly enthusiastic about his role, and will do everything stay in character. All right. Well,
Cool. Of course he is. He's super hype about it.
it's like, yeah, this
Yep.
is fun. Uh, if the players push too much, he'll mention that he's waiting for the formula finish. What's that word where you boil something and it's gonna like drip down?
Distilling.
Finish distill, yeah. And he's got quite a few hours to kill. Distilling, there we go.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so what would the next clue be?
Well, like we're running out of important places in the town that we've like established.
Uh-huh.
So the next one should be the Lucky Pearl Tavern, back
The
into the Port District.
okay. Find the trident. One more the pearl of they need luck. There we go.
Beautiful. Yeah,
And
no, that should be good. That should be good.
I'm just gonna copy the thing from the original thing.
Yep.
And it'll be history check. There's is a tavern called Lucky Pearl Tavern Station. Pearl Tavern. And that's all the main locations, correct?
Yeah, because we've started at the Bloodstone. Silvertoes Farm feels a bit too far away for a little adventure,
Yeah.
and going sending a swarm of people to Baron von Cleef's mansion is probably a bad idea.
So for the fifth one, once the players get to tavern. They find it already swamped by scavenger hunter looking for the clue. And for this one, I want to make it so it's the other like clues that like they've all been given out by people in costumes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be one of the ones where that's not going to be the case. So everybody's looking for the costume person, but it's not there. Instead, I want to make it so that the singer is actually
That,
giving out the clue, but because he's
exactly what I was thinking.
yeah, but because he's not in costume and he's not like looking at the scavenger hunter specifically, no one
Yep.
realizes that he's giving the clue.
Yeah.
So like we can say
So
like
he's
the
singing a song about a white, standing on the white rooftop overlooking the cliffs.
yeah, my lover or something like that. Yeah. Let me just double check their names. Husband
We
and wife
haven't, we
duo.
have not given them a name yet.
Alright. The two Tritons working there are okay, wait, hang on. We're just gonna describe. There are two Tritons there. The wife is serving drinks, taking orders, while the husband is singing a song about kissing his lover on a white. What kind of building is that? Like not a mansion. It's like Bright Wolf.
I, I I'm not too sure what the type of building is called. So let's not say what type of building. Just say on a white roof overlooking the cliffs.
Overlooking the waves and cliffs. All right, so um, I kind of like this idea. So it's not like a history check or anything like that because they can't.
It would be a perception check.
Not insight.
Or actually, insight. Well, perception check to realize that the same song keeps getting sung. Insight
Yes.
to understand what is trying to be told.
Perception D12. Same song keeps getting sung over and over again. That's not normal. And then insight DC 15 rolled at. Oh, we can make perception a bit. I think advantage if the perception check successful. There aren't too many buildings near the cliff side. Wait, okay, song itself is the clue.
Yep.
So investigation, say 12. Well, there aren't too many buildings on the cliffs themselves. On the lighthouse and the lighthouse hers, well, house. History. Oh, you know what? Well, because they're the same DC, we'll just say history and
Yep.
free. And hang on. I'm gonna put the same thing. Like I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Um, um. Okay, perception. Can be repeated each hour with each try reduced by 1. And we can do the same thing as they like think about it. So the final step will be step 6. So I'm going to scroll up, go to step 6. Okay, if the players do not enter the scavenger hunt, they get through town, realize that the trident had been stolen. Go to step 7. Sorry, 7A, 6B, I should say. So A, you know what? We'll just call it step 7, the other one. This is a bit messy. It's gonna
It
be neater when
is.
it's gonna be neater once we actually turn it into it.
Yeah. Maybe with like a little flow chart.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so step 6, players run onto the roof of the building and find someone. Run. Okay, players find the house. If they move onto the roof of the building, they find someone already holding Trident. They also see a costumed sea serpent leaning out behind said person.
Okay.
Lighthouse her sea serpent bleeding out behind her. Yeah, it makes sense to me that the lighthouse keeper would have the trident.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's go to roll 20.
Yep.
I do believe you. Oh, you called it a cliffside extravagance.
Yes.
It is a nice little map. A bit blurry on mine right now, but I think it just load in.
Yeah. It'll take a little bit to load in.
All right, so we'll have a bandit type person.
So
Let's see.
we've introduced two special like named bandits.
Mm-mm.
Are we doing a third for the fellow?
I think we make a third. So we've already got a spellcaster. We have a barbarian berserker type dude.
Yep.
Um, for this one, I wouldn't mind making this a more social encounter, like a possible social encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like what kind of character are we thinking here? So actually, do we have
Hmm.
corpses? Pictures of corpses, low hurt, lying down.
Yeah, you'll be able to find such easy enough. But yeah, a more social. So, do we think you were talking like a maybe that like dashing rogue archetype?
Maybe. I was hoping for someone who could swim very, maybe a Triton even.
I mean, that's quite possible. Some sort of Triton gang leader.
Now, let me try to find a quick lighthouse keeper. If you want to look for the Triton and there. Okay, yeah, you know what? This guy looks like he's a good lighthouse keeper, and we will put the little thing above his head that says he is quite down. Actually, do we want to make him dead or just unconscious?
If you get here during this point in time,
Oh,
I
actually,
would
that's a good point.
suggest.
So, okay, so if the players had arrived in under, let's say, 8 hours, under 8 hours, the lighthouse simply unconscious, bleeding out every hour after that. They are dead. So it gives them like a little whatchamacallit, ins I wouldn't say incentive. It rewards them for being quick. So we'll say like traveling across in the scavenger hunt quest, each step takes an hour. So assuming that they succeed every check, they get there in under like 6 hours. How's that sound? Or should I make it more hours than 8?
Fine.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make it 9 just so that there's a bit of wiggle room. All right. So, anyways, he's there. You have a picture of a trident. We could Triton.
Mm,
Triton.
no, I'm currently trying to find something
Oh, I've
appropriate.
got something actually from my own library. There we go. All right, Mr. Triton is there.
He even has a trident in the picture.
Yeah, exactly. Can dual wield them. All right, so he is one of the bandits. Uh, kind of name should we give him?
Ooh. Triton names, huh? I haven't looked up Triton names in a long time.
If the players are what, aggressive, Triton, Triton will trust himself. The obviously fake name, Triton, Triton face.
That is some high levels of sarcasm right there.
Triton, Triton. If the players are polite, will introduce himself as. What name should we give this Triton? What common names are there? Like, I still want to like you have him give like an alias, regardless. Like, it's obviously an alias, but it's the one that he wants to be known by.
Uh, yeah, because it's like I feel like something water focused would be kind of cool, right?
The Triton has a chain tattoo across face. Yeah, just so that the players know. Oh, he's part of the chain gang, like for sure now, 100%.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm trying to think of like what would be a cool Triton name. I'm not like thinking of anything off the top of my head. I haven't named a Triton in such a long time. Well, that's why when you can't think of anything else, you go to the books and try to find something from there. Hello, book, help me, please.
I'm gonna write up
Triton.
a few about this guy. Plays polite. He will introduce himself as whatever. Um,
Okay. Oh, here we go. Um, Chorus or Delnus, Jamas, Keros, Vodos.
or
I like Vodos. Vodos.
Vodos the Unsunken.
Nice.
Vodos the Unsunken. Sunken. Righty.
Okay.
And he will be one of the bandits that that they talk about. Hang on. Where is that thing? Features of note, standard guns. There was something about bandits and like holding them. Where is that?
Uh,
Like that they're
yeah,
capturing them and such like that.
that might be a part of the Silvertones Farm
Oh,
West section.
hang on. You're right. It's the frustrating part about this sort of thing. Yes. Okay. We'll have to collate all the bandits in a single section.
Yeah,
Okay, so Vodos, the Unsunken, a nimble Triton. Used to. What's his chick used to be? Like he just a coastline raider? Or. No, what about a. Not even that. A con artist.
yeah.
I wanted this to be a socialist. Used to be a con artist and master of disguise.
In
Often,
that in that case, I could think of the perfect stat block already, or a pretty simple stat block, which is the spy stat block.
unlike the other bandits on this list, he doesn't run his own gang. Instead, a solo act. He would sometimes is famous for disguising himself as a vulnerable young girl drowning at sea, only to be rescued by naive fishermen who would then be.
What a scumbag!
Yeah, pretty much. He is a scumbag for sure. Hang on, do we have the names of the other guys over here? Is there one on Silvertoe's farm?
I know,
Wolf.
I know. We named one Wolf.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hang on, I've got that here. Wolf, wolf, wolf. Okay. Wolf of the Wolf Raiders. Okay. Wolf. Wolf of the Wolf. Not actually, I'm gonna make it so it's wrong information first. Wolf of the Wolf Raiders is a tall, powerful half orc who ambushes and raids caravans with his of bloodthirsty maniacs. They're very aggressive and cunning. I just like a different group of like different types of bandits doing different things. And the
Yep.
other one, I think it was Sasha. Here we go. Sasha is the Burning Ember, leader of the Syndicate. Copy, paste. Sasha, the Burning Ember, leader of the Cinder Gang. Uh, ba, ba, ba. Uh, gang were smugglers, hostage takers, generally avoided direct confrontations. often being flashy with fire to intimidate people. Alright. And there'll be like deep checks to know more about them, but we can get to that later. So, are you currently making Vodos? Vodos the Unsunken. Yeah. Okay, so you said he was a spy, eh? So what's the
I'm
spy? Is
using
that
the spy stat block.
what's the spy? Like I think I can I think I know what it is based on like this, but
Yeah,
what
it's generally a rogue stat block, but the spy has a lot of extra skills that they can use to kind of get their way. It's pretty simple. Um, so they've got the usual, which is the cunning action to dash, disengage, or hide. They have sneak attack, but the real big kicker of the spy is having like skills like deception, insight, investigation, perception, like even persuasion, stealth, sleight of hand. Those ones. So you can kind of play them with their stats.
I would like to mention like the trident isn't considered a sneak attack weapon, is it?
The trident is not. No.
I'd like to think that while he's using it, he obviously knows how to fight with it. Like we'll describe that, but he's
Hmm.
like sort of like handicapping himself
Yeah.
almost. Uh, the lightkeeper is still the lighthouse keeper is still alive. Ba ba ba. Vodos will offer a trade. Let me go, and and will not finish him off. And you know what? I'll say he's genuine about it. Is being genuine about this. However, he will give up the trident itself. Combat the trident, but it's clear that he's not used to wielding it. Such won't be utilizing sneak attack with it.
Let me have a look at trident stats. Um,
Trident's like 1d6 and then like it's a throwing weapon and then it can become 1d8.
yeah. That's why I was just quickly checking up their stats. What's the? It's 2060. Okay.
We'll throw the trident action to this and he's got disengage, right? As a cunning action?
Yeah.
Yes. That'll be a bonus action. And is meaning jump off building cliff to the water escape. So yeah, once his HP is halved, he will throw the trident as a distraction, use the cunning action to disengage, and use the rest of his use the rest of his remaining movement to jump off the building and cliff into the water to escape. And that's why I asked you to put the building a bit closer to the cliff.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking you wanted that for too.
So
Yeah, he can just yeet himself off.
I'll make him a bit closer to the whatchamacallit there, just to make it easier for him to get off. That's
So something important with
Oh,
Vodos' stat block. He is using the trident.
yep,
We said it is technically Baron von Cleef's trident.
yep. It's the magic trident.
Yes. Would it have like a +1 to its stats? Maybe.
I would say it's got +1, and if the players do like use identify to figure out exactly what it does, maybe it has something called Titan Slayer on it.
Yeah. For the time being, yeah, just it being +1 helps because Votus's stats are more dexterous than strength based. But if it's magical, it will help boost his to hit
Mm-mm.
a little bit, so you can actually try to try to get some hits in with that trident of his.
I don't think it'll like come up, but I still want to put like in the notes for the trident that it has like a magic enchantment on it called Titan Slayer or something.
Yeah, well, nothing that should be relevant to any potential stabbings.
Nah, I don't think unless the players have a Goliath who then has the enlarge spell put on them, they should be fine. Actually, yeah, by
So,
level 2, can you cast enlarge on yourself or something similar?
I think enlarge reduces level 2.
Enlarge and shrink. Is there a way to become one size larger at that level?
Not at level 2. It's enlarge reduces a second level spell. So level 3 is when you'll be able to find people who can start doing that,
Alright,
whether through the spell or like something like the Rune Knight can grow a size larger.
but Rune Knights are a subclass anyway, but so
Yeah.
alright, there's no like cleric thing that lets you just do it
Well,
early.
I mean, if there's anything that's going to let it do it early, it's the fact that we're giving them potential access to potions of growth.
Good point. Oh wait, no, druids can become large. Wild shape.
Yeah, level 2 they could become a bear or something.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Yes. Like give the trident something called Titan Slayer. Um, extra. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Don't make it a dice thing. Make it double strength modifier.
Which is completely useless on him.
Exactly. So Vodos can't take advantage of it. But I'd like to imagine like if the players get the trident and then they run into something in the meantime, which very doubtful. But I just like it for the flavor.
Yeah, do you want to write that down in the like somewhere?
Okay. No, the trident will be called Titan Slayer. Slayer. Magic trident. On hit. So, instead of fighting plus 1.5 AR, wielded by two hands, provides times 2. Wanted to give it any extra additional effects?
Um, no, I think it doubling your strength bonus is fine.
Pretty good um for our good mayor who probably has like what +5 strength minimum.
Is he capped out? Maybe.
Even +4 and turning that into a +8
Say
is pretty
+8
damn good.
damage. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. All right. I think is that everything?
Um, well, I think the big question is now, how does this deviate if you come here later on?
Ah, right. They just find the corpse.
Yep. I guess you should probably say that you can stabilize the lighthouse keeper.
Lighthouse keeper can be stable.
That's usually a DC 10 medicine check.
and edit check. If he then 7, or players have gone steps 1, 2, 6. Order players will find guards all around house and the corpse lighthouse and the trident sing. And then we can make this a whole new quest.
Consi- well, I think we want to keep these is in line as much as possible. To that effect, I think Vodos should keep the trident and leap into the water with it. That way, we can rejoin these two separate scenarios back into the quest for Vodos to get the trident back.
Okay, so instead of you throwing the trident, he will.
He has disengage as a bonus action. He can just slip out of people's grasps and just go for it.
Okay, he will use the cunning action to change the rest of his remaining movement to dash and jump off the building and building/cliff to the water escape. There we go.
Yeah. Cool, because this now gives us a quest that both sections can follow.
I like that. I like that. Okay. I think we can continue the second part of this quest next time on Recipe for Adventure, don't you think? It's about that time.
Why does time disappear so fast?
Look, D&D is each session goes for like minimum 2, and that's extremely short, to like a more healthy 4, and sometimes to a big, nice, juicy 8 hours, right?
I remember when I used to do sessions that long.
Oh, I miss doing sessions for that long as well. Anyway, so that's Recipe for Adventure, everybody. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have any ideas for what we should do in our next part of our campaign here, next episode. Please let us know, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Ciao.